So when people look at the newly declassified Durham appendix, you'll see a number of quite shocking statements in there.
Hey everybody, welcome back. It's been a long day, which actually you'll probably get updated by Michelle when she posts her video, but I'm not 100% sure which channel she's going to post it on, so make sure you check them all. We are definitely spending more time and on different channels here, as well as over on Patreon for the Platinum Coaching and School for the Stay Free community. Now, we got some important stuff to talk about here, folks, so I'm just going to dive right in. I'm going to jump right into it. I'm not going to sit here and waste time, not your valuable time, and tell you that she's running for president. Yeah, this is unbelievable to think that this is what the left believes is their answer, their solution to their problem. Oh, yeah, you thought I was talking about Tulsi Gabbard. No, more on Tulsi Gabbard here in just a moment. According to this, new leaks report or indicate AOC plans to run for president with, get this, Jasmine Crockett as her VP. I can't think of a funnier joke. Besides, well, this young lady right here.
Diabolical things I want in a man. Number 1, height. My man's gotta be above 6'2". My last 2 boyfriends were 6'3". Both of them. And they were jacked. And they looked really good. How am I supposed to downgrade from that? So, unfortunately, my next man will have to be 6'2" and up. Number 2, you can't have a gut. I need you built. I need you fit and going to the gym multiple times a week. I'm sorry, I'm just not gonna date a fat guy. If I can be in the gym 5 days a week and be fit and care about how I look, you can do it. Number 3, he cannot have a salary cap. Whatever career he's in, he needs to have multiple streams of income, and we need to be able to make as much money as possible. That's why I will never date a guy who works in corporate. What is your 100K salary cap gonna do for me? The max you'll ever be able to get to is 150? Yeah, no, we're good. I need you in a career that is going to make us money. I am a lover of luxury. I like expensive things. I like expensive vacations. So will you, if you're my man. So we need a career that can support that. Number 4, whenever we travel, he's got to be flying his business. I'm sorry, we're not sitting in economy together. It's just not happening. Again, this is where the lack of salary cap is really going to help. And number 5, he's got to have a really nice watch. I'm not really impressed when I hear somebody has a Rolex anymore because those can be really cheap. I would much prefer if you had an AP or a Patek and maybe multiple of them. The Rolex can be your day watch and it still better be 50K plus.
And in fact, it would be funnier if she said she wanted to run for president, but I think she's trolling, or maybe she's just trying to find a man to be her sugar daddy and pay her way. This woman here might actually be a better choice.
Should Trump run for a 3rd term?
I would like Trump to be the dictator of this motherfucker. I like that white man. Y'all think it's a joke.
Man, Trump should run for a 5th term, a 6th term. He should run a marathon. I don't know. He should run for everything, man. He should run for a top 5 rappers that are alive. I don't know. Donald Trump should run for everything, man. I think if Donald Trump had an ice cream truck company, it'd be the best ice cream truck company in the world. Whatever he does, whatever he puts his hand on, it turns into gold.
Do you think Trump should run for a 3rd term?
Man, Trump needs to run for 100 term.
Why?
He keeping us safe. He got on lockdown. Ain't nobody gonna with us as long as Big Trump in the office. You talking about?
Should Trump run for a 3rd term?
No, he shouldn't run for a 3rd term. He should just be president for life.
Why?
Because we need a dictator. We need somebody like Trump who doesn't give a fuck and does whatever he wants and puts the American people first. I know that the economy is booming. I know that illegal immigration is at an all-time low. I know that businesses are thriving. I know that the streets are cleaned up. And I know that America is being restored to its most prosperous state, which it was, not anymore, but now it is again. So yeah, I think he should be allowed to just stay in office.
Do you think Trump should run for a 3rd term?
Absolutely. If he can, I hope he can run for 5 terms. All I know is I get up every single day. I don't prefer listening to the news. Every single time I turn on the radio, bad news, bad news, bad news, stupid dog shit from Biden. And now if I turn it on for 5 minutes, all I hear is one more great thing, one more great thing, one more great thing. And then I go to NPR for a few minutes when the commercials come on. Trump is a danger to democracy. It's like the most ridiculous clown-ass bullshit you ever heard.
She seems to have a good head on her shoulders, or at least is trying to get a better perspective for what we should expect in 2028 with Trump running for a 3rd term. Not sure if that's going to be possible after the latest and the way that the media is just how they're treating this Trump-Putin exchange.
Let's bring in Peter Baker, MSNBC political analyst and chief White House correspondent for the New York Times, and MSNBC international affairs analyst and former U.S. ambassador to Russia, Michael McFaul. Ambassador, thank you for being here in studio. You get the first question. Anything that Vaughn reported there, does that stand out to you as unique, interesting? What comes to mind?
Well, I think it's a good thing that they're talking about security guarantees. That was not talked about with Putin. President Trump for a long time has not talked about that. I think that format of Zelensky with the European leaders, I think that's a good one. So it's not just Zelensky and Trump. We've known what's happened with that from time to time. So that's good news. But the devil's in the details. When he kept saying NATO-like security guarantees, why not just NATO security guarantees? So this notion that it's going to be something like NATO but less than NATO, if I were the Ukrainians, that would make me nervous. They had one of those, by the way, in 1994. It was called the Budapest Memorandum.
Smiles, hand pats, postures, and a pat on the back even. What does it all mean? There was a lot to take note of in the body language between President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin at Friday's Alaska summit. Those nonverbal cues from the two leaders. Here with us now to help break it all down, body language expert Mary Civillo. Mary, great to see you. Sometimes
Hi, Frederica.
so
Good
much
to see you.
Wonderful. So much is said sometimes non-verbally. So that's why we have you here. So, a lot of analysts agree that Putin came into this with a great advantage, an invitation to U.S. soil without concessions. The two presidents, meeting on the red carpet that was rolled out, applause even from President Trump, handshakes, even Trump patting the back of the Russian president's hand. So in that sequence, what did you see?
I saw two guys that were coming together, hadn't seen you for a little while. Good to see you. It was all, all systems go. Couldn't be friendlier on both sides. Trump, the gracious host, Putin thrilled to be here.
Mm-hmm. And then, as you see here, they're walking on the red carpet. Eventually, they kind of saunter off to Trump's limo called the Beast. Putin actually smiling, looking very joyful right there in the back seat, almost like making sure to the cameras, you see me here, right? What do you see there?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he from the get-go, and in fact, throughout, he just looked as though it was, this is fantastic. And it is especially pronounced.
Let's bring in former U.S. Ambassador to NATO, Kurt Volker. You weren't in the room, Mr. Ambassador, but how do you assess the results of the Trump-Putin meeting in Alaska?
Well, I guess I would assess it as Putin got away without doing anything. He got the red carpet treatment from President Trump. He did not agree to a ceasefire. He did not reduce any of his maximalist demands. He succeeded in changing the subject from being a ceasefire to now being a full agreement and a trilateral meeting with Zelensky. And he left without Trump even applying any additional sanctions or severe measures, such as President Trump said that he would. So I guess you call that Putin 1, Trump 0.
Yeah, I was going to say, it sounds like you see the advantages all in Putin's court after what happened.
Yeah, unfortunately. And remember, it was President Trump who was calling for the ceasefire. And he convinced President Zelensky to accept a ceasefire as is back in February and early March. And the Ukrainians have been ready for that for 6 months. The Russians continue to refuse a ceasefire. Now they want a full deal. And remember the details of what we just heard, which I've heard from other sources as well. What Putin is asking for is to continue to occupy all the territory that he currently occupies, and for Ukraine to withdraw from territory that Putin has been unable to conquer.
Welcome back in Live Now. I'm Austin Westfall. A live look at the White House, 5:11 in the nation's capital. We have some news coming in relating to the Trump-Putin summit in Alaska. It has to do with the First Lady. This is an exclusive from Fox News Digital. They say First Lady Melania Trump wrote a peace letter to Russian President Vladimir Putin, telling him, quote, "It's time to protect children and future generations around the globe." Fox News Digital exclusively obtaining the letter the First Lady penned to Putin, which President Trump hand-delivered to the Russian leader before their summit in Alaska. Immediately upon receiving the letter, Fox News Digital says, Putin read it as the American and Russian delegations looked on. Fox News Digital with some pieces of the letter. I'm going to read a little bit. Quote, "Dear President Putin, the First Lady's letter begins, every child shares the same quiet dreams in their heart, whether born randomly into a nation's rustic countryside or a magnificent city center. They dream of love, possibility, and safety from danger. As parents, it is our duty to nurture the next generation's hope. As leaders, the responsibility to sustain our children extends beyond the comfort of a few. Undeniably, we must strive to paint a dignity-filled world for all so that every soul may wake to peace and so that the future itself is perfectly guarded. A simple yet profound concept, Mr. Putin, as I am sure you agree, is that each generation's descendants begin their lives with a purity and innocence which stands above geography, government, and ideology," unquote. I just read a few excerpts from the letter there. Fox News Digital has the full thing. Again, we're learning that there was a letter exchange during the Putin-Trump summit in Alaska. It took place on Friday. The letter having to do with the safety of Ukrainian children. And what I will say here about this is First Lady Melania Trump was not seen in attendance in Alaska. We did not see her participate in that. It ended up being a 3-on-3 meeting between Trump, Putin, and other high-ranking officials within their governments. You're looking at some images from yesterday's press briefing where, I might add, the press was not able to ask questions to Putin or Trump after they finished their remarks. But again, the headline of the hour, Fox News Digital receiving an exclusive peace letter that President Trump hand-delivered to Putin yesterday in Alaska. A live look at the White House where...
And I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, this is like giving off Epstein vibes. And if you believe the media, that's one thing. If you believe Trump, that's another. If you believe MAGA conservative patriots, if you believe logic and reason, if you believe Hillary Clinton, of all people.
Gentlemen, that's a little bit weird, don't you think? These two have absolutely hated each other for over a decade now, and you all know that Hillary Clinton has done everything she could possibly do to try to tear down President Trump, but here she is, just yesterday afternoon, saying that she'd be willing to nominate him for a Nobel Peace Prize. And so, folks, this is where we get to today's bombshell news, because once you all take a look at what I've got to show you, I think you're all going to understand just why Hillary Clinton is, all of a sudden, looking to play nice. So without further delay, what do you say about the Nobel Peace Prize? Take a look.
There will be no exchange of territory, and that over a period of time, Putin should be actually withdrawing from the territory he seized in order to demonstrate good faith efforts, let us say, not to threaten European security. If President Trump were the architect of that, I'd nominate him for a Nobel Peace Prize.
And so, ladies and gentlemen,
I'll leave that there. And adding to the list of things that really just don't make much sense, apparently they think Kamala's stepdaughter is the most beautiful woman in the world. Thoughts? Oh yeah, that and the earth isn't flat, folks. I hate to burst your bubble, but yeah. Riddle me this, Batman. Can someone explain why Putin and Trump met all the way in Alaska when Washington, D.C. is literally right on the way? Oh, man. But going back to the 2028 presidential run, look, let's not get ahead of ourselves here, folks. We still got a long way to go. There's a lot left to get done here. And J.D. Vance is going to be ready when his time comes, for sure. Will his running mate be Marco Rubio? Will his running mate be Tulsi Gabbard, maybe? Will his running mate be RFK Jr.? Who knows? Anything's possible.
I didn't even realize this, Maria, until a couple of years ago, that, for apportioning representatives, you actually count illegal aliens. So even though illegal aliens theoretically are not supposed to vote, we know sometimes they do, you still count illegal aliens for congressional apportionment. So California has way more House seats than it should because they have such a high population of illegal aliens. So they get rewarded for welcoming illegal aliens into their state, giving them federal benefits, actually asking the taxpayers of states like Ohio to subsidize them. And then those same taxpayers in Ohio and Indiana and elsewhere, they have fewer congressional representatives because of what California has allowed to happen.
For the next election, have you spoken to Secretary Rubio about this?
I saw Marco about a month ago. We just laughed at the whole thing because neither one of us are focused on politics. We're focused on actually doing a good job for the American people. And the way that I think about it, Maria, is if we do a good job, number one, that's the reward in and of itself, that all have made a big difference in the lives of our country for the last 6 months and the next 3.5 years. But if we do a good job, the politics will take care of itself. Let's just focus on that. I think, as the president said, it's way too early to be thinking about the political future. It's frankly way too early to be thinking about 2026. It's certainly way too early to be thinking about 2028.
But you are expecting to run for president in 28.
I'm not going to break that news today, Maria. What I'm going to do is focus for the next year and a half on doing a really good job for the American people, winning the midterm elections in 2026, and then we can talk about politics after that.
And, he's not really sweating it. He's even said it himself. He's not going to get into that conversation and discussion. He's not going to try to overshadow the president, even though everyone in the media is trying to get him to do that. He's not going to do that while also enjoying himself and four-putting on the golf course. Yeah, so there's that. Hey guys, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm trying to gain subscribers. Most of my videos lose subscribers and then gain subscribers. So maybe y'all should unsubscribe. A few of y'all should unsubscribe and then YouTube will start gaining subscribers. I don't know. And yeah, more of you folks are coming over. I just put up another video for the members, so make sure you go check it out. It's specifically about passive income and the 4 methods that anyone and everyone can literally do right now to develop and build out passive income producing strategies with just your smartphone, by the way. And look, just go over and I'll put the links down below. Go check them out and make sure, if you haven't already, give our friends at Chapter a call and see what they can do for you. They've already helped so many others, and on average, folks are saving $1,100. And if you are interested in saving money, specifically on your Medicare, then make sure you give our friends at Chapter a call. And I want you guys to really, really pay attention here, because it's come to my attention that most seniors are not on the best Medicare plan. They're either overpaying for the same coverage they could get elsewhere, or they don't have the coverage they need in an emergency. Chapter can review your options in under 20 minutes. It's fast, it's simple, it's easy, and it's free. If you're already on the best possible plan, they'll tell you they're unbiased and they're purely here to help folks, seniors, save money on healthcare, on average $1,100. And if you're not on the right plan, they'll help you switch, even if it's to a plan that pays them nothing. Again, unbiased, folks. This is unique and unlike any other Medicare provider out there. And this is exactly why we love Chapter so much, because they're literally just trying to help people. Chapter works for you, not big insurance or the government. And there's no pressure, just honest, free advice from professionals who know Medicare inside and out.
So when people look at the newly declassified Durham appendix, you'll see a number of quite shocking statements in there coming from people like then DNC chairwoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz, talking about how and I'm paraphrasing here, but, Hillary Clinton's emails were deleted just in time. Statements like that, references towards some of Hillary Clinton's most senior advisors saying, hey, let's use the Russia play against Trump in order to diminish the attention that's going to Hillary Clinton's emails. And it actually points to statements about how Hillary herself approved one of these plans that was put forward again before her to heighten tensions around this Russia hoax, this alleged Russia collusion with Donald Trump, to draw attention away from her and away from the controversy that was surrounding her at that time. These documents also show that President Obama was briefed on this before the election, and how at that point in time, he talked about how he didn't want his legacy to be tainted by Hillary Clinton and her controversy, and claimed to want to stay out of it. Obviously, at a certain point, he made a different decision, but it really, again, starts to lay the groundwork for how we see at the highest levels of power in our country. Remember, Hillary Clinton was the Secretary of State. We see at the highest levels of power in our country how this narrative was very intentionally used, and some intelligence pointing to the use of foreign agents or assets to assist in this narrative that, again, was in essence executed to undermine President Trump's candidacy and to advance Hillary Clinton into the presidency.